Hey guys, good morning. It's Gerry coming to you from Rythmia Life Advancement Center in beautiful Guanacaste, Costa Rica. It's a bit of a rainy day, and in Costa Rica, but we're in our rain season, which isn't all rain. It's a combination of sun and rain almost every day. It's beautiful. And what is Rythmia? Rythmia is a life advancement center in Costa Rica that's largely plant-based, and we believe in a particular way of looking at the world and looking at self-improvement and self-development. And that way is an understanding of the split and knowing that at some point between when we're conceived and about 5 years old, we split, and the reconnection of that split is what is used as an accelerant in our life to generate some real true beauty and understanding going forward. And we love talking about these things, and we love what we're doing here. And what makes our place even more interesting, I believe, is that about 946 out of every 1,000 people who come through have this reconnection of their spirit. And today I'm going to be talking about a class that I'm doing, a workshop that I'm doing called Truthenomics. It's based on my book that has yet to be published, but is finished, and we're just waiting for the time to release it. And the book is really about creation. It's about what people call manifestation and what I call creation. And I want to get into a couple things about it. So this workshop happens on June 23rd. I'm going to ask you guys, because of the nature of Facebook, if you can press share. There's somebody who's going to hear this message. It's going to resonate with them, and they're going to show up here. So let's just talk about. So Ashen had a question. I'll get back to that one later, but I will. So let's talk about Truthenomics and some of the things that are going to be discussed during that week. And so a lot of people talk about the law of attraction and vibrations, and they just don't understand it. Most people who talk about manifestation really don't understand it. You got to be very careful about whom you listen to, because a lot of people who are talking about manifestation have yet to do it in their own lives. They've yet to become wealthy. They've yet to become super successful or anything like that. So be very careful who you listen to. My thing is, I haven't become very wealthy, but I've done real well in life. What most people would consider as real well. So let's just talk about it a second. So what is this thing about the law of attraction and about vibrating these things into your life? It's really, really confusing, because how people talk about it. They talk about vibrating like it. So how do I vibrate like a Mercedes-Benz? Do I put an emblem on my head, or do I how do I vibrate like the house that I want or the marriage I want? It's a very confusing term, and it's wrong. You don't vibrate like it. You don't vibrate like it. And what am I talking about? This is what I'm trying to say. You know you already have it. And I want you to hear that. You know it so well that you know you already have it. And then something happens, okay? Something happens. When you know you already have it, you act like and feel like you already have it. Then all of a sudden that thing aligns and comes in. It's the only way to make it happen. There's not another way. You can't convince yourself, you can't beg it, you can't pray it, you can't do any of that shit. You have to know you already have it. Now here's what's interesting. So if you know you already have it, or you know you already don't, it acts the same way. It acts the same way. So how do you know that you already have it? That takes some deep thought. It takes some quiet time, some meditation, some convincing yourself that it's already there. Here's what's interesting. If you talk to successful people, you know what they say? 99% of my life has been anticlimactic. What do you mean by that? It's because when I sold my company, the act of selling it was 4 years after I felt like I sold it. Do you see that? So when it actually happens, it's anticlimactic. When I want that car, I feel like I have that car. I feel like I have that car. When I get the car, it's anticlimactic because the climax happened when I decided I had the car. This is the craziest shit of this shit. When the woman of your dreams or the man of your dreams or the this of your happens, it's because you already knew it was going to happen. That's why, and think about these things. Talk to wealthy people, they'll say some shit. They'll say bad luck comes in threes. You know why it comes in threes? Same reason good luck comes in threes. Because so watch this. Bad luck comes in threes and I'm on a roll. What the fuck? You know why you're on a roll? You recognize yourself winning something and put yourself in the vibration of winning, and then it keeps happening. Do you ever notice this if you watch sports at all? But teams that are winning generally continue to win. Stocks that are rising generally continue to rise. Things that are going good generally continue to go good. And yet things that go bad happen in threes. Why? Why? Because once something goes bad, now all of a sudden things are going bad. And things are going bad, I will think about the thing that's going to go bad next. Whoo! Crazy, huh? And it's true. How do I know it's true? I've done it all. I had nothing and convinced myself I had $10 million. This was one of the first things I did. And I convinced myself like I had $10 million. I walked around like I had $10 million. I thought like I had $10 million. And the next thing you know, I had $30 million. Crazy shit. Huh? Crazy. So what? What does this mean to us? Why are you even talking about a spiritual thing? Why are you talking about this? Because it not only works with money, it works with everything. Health. I'm convinced I'm healthy. I'm convinced I'm healthy. Then what happens? I'm healthy. People confuse this shit all the time. They talk about vibrating. Like, how do you vibrate like a car? The only way to do it is to do it. The only way to do it is to do it. We lost a little connection there. I hope that this is back on. Okay, it's back on. The only way to do it is to do it. The only way to do it is to know that you're doing it. Follow this. So, I'll give you just some examples of it happening to me. Just little examples of it happening. Hey, Zin. Hi, Linda. Hi, Sonia. Yep, it's on again. Fantastic. Okay. I love this. Okay. So it's not something that you sit down and actively do. I'm going to tell you a little trick, and I discuss this in great detail in Truthenomics. You know it. And you know it, and then what happens? You have your climax here. And the rest of it is just details. What do I mean by that? So, if I know it, then I have my climax. I tell you what, sit down and get in a position of, oh my God, I have this thing that I want. Then you walk around and smile all day because you already feel like you have it. And then the rest of it is details. And it'll come 2, 3, 5, 6 months later. And it will be anticlimactic because you already had the excitement of having it on day one. Great stuff. It's great stuff. I have to tell you this. I sold a company once. Well, this is the truth. I thought I was trying to sell it for $30 million. I had this idea he's going to sell it for $30 million. And I actually sold it for about $90 million. But when it happened, I had already lived through it. And everybody else in my company that had pieces were like, hooray, and the party's on. And I was like, oh, it's another day. I sold this shit 4 years ago. 3 years ago. 3 years ago. Yeah. Crazy, right? So, like this thing that you're working on, this thing that you want, forget about wanting it. And if you can't get in a position where you convince yourself that you already have it, you can't have it. I'm telling you, it's how it works. It's how it works, because whatever you know is true, the universe will conspire with you to prove it. Whatever you know that is true, the universe will conspire with you to prove it. So, hey Fanny, hey Michael, hey Sonia. So what does that even mean? When I decide I'm going to start a company and change the world, everybody hops on board because I already know what's happening. And the same thing works as doubt. The same thing works in golf. I hate saying it. So any golfers out there know this. There's 500 yards to a hole. Let's say 470 yards. And there's all of it is grass, except 2, maybe 15 or 20-foot round circles that have sand in them. All that has to happen to you in your backswing is think of the sand. And where does the shit go? And all that land goes right in the sand. So this is the thing. Stay out of the sand. Know that you're going to go. Know that where you're going to go. Know where the ball's going to go. Know where your life is going. And know it. And then when it happens, you can be like, okay, it happened. I remember this with cars. I remember being a young guy and thinking, oh my God, I'm going to have this brand new Corvette, which was a big thing for me at the time. And I have this brand new Corvette. And I went to the car, I got kicked out of the car dealership because I was there so long, so many times. I would go in, it was white with the red interior. I would go in, I would sit in the car, I would smell it, I would see myself driving it, I would do all this stuff, and I had no way of paying for it at the time. And 3 or 4 months later, I owned it. I owned it. So what I'm telling you is that you've got to do this. And if you can't convince yourself that you own it, that you have it, that it's part of your life, then it's probably not the thing for you. It's probably someone else's dream. So get your own. How do you get your own? You get your own by coming together. I have people all the time who do the merger, and then they say to me, hey, what's next? And I have to explain to them this process, this 4-part process of Truthenomics. And when you come here on June 23rd, I'm going to go through this process with you. And holy shit, I know it. I've used it. I made my first $1 million off it. I made my last $1 million off it. It's all that I use. Because it's this. So when you get your mind and your being around, I am this, I own this, I am with this, this is the life that I have, this is the family I own it, then everything else conspires to get it. And you can pretty much do your work and get out of the way. And that's the key. This is the key to the thing. This is the key to the thing, and it's truth. It really is truth. So if you can't convince yourself that you should be, that you're a doctor, then you're not fucking supposed to be a doctor. Do you understand that? The universe does not allow us to convince ourselves of something that is in contradiction to the nature of our soul. Our particular soul, not souls in general. Who we are. So you can sit there and convince yourself that you're an actor, I'm an actor, if you're not, and it won't work. All you're going to wind up doing is pissing yourself off. And you know what? And then not believing in any systems. And by the way, science is a system. Math is a system. Creation is a system. This, what I'm talking about, is a system. It's programmatic. It's a program, and it frickin' works. You know who knows it works? Everybody who's ever done it. And even those who haven't. You know why? Because they get to thinking one day, holy shit, almost everything that I'm really fucking afraid of happens to me. Why is that? Real simple. I'm afraid of losing my job. Then I envision myself losing my job. I hate the feeling. And boom, I get it. You get it? That is it. This is it. This is the shit that I'm talking about. And this is what I talk about. So there's a couple steps to this thing. First thing is, I have to know who I am in my wholeness. Why do I have to know who I am in my wholeness? Because if I don't, I'm going to be picking from the wrong shit. So I have to first know who I am in my wholeness. Secondly, I have to know who I am in the moment. Thirdly, I have to know what it is that I want in exacting detail. In exacting detail. What does exacting detail mean? Exacting detail means I can feel it. This is all the fuck it means. I can feel it. What are you talking about? The home that I want to raise my family in, let's say, I had a family and I was going to start over, right? And the home that I want to raise my family in, I have to go visit it. And when I say visually visit it, mentally visit it, feel myself sitting in that living room. Oh, this feels good. I know this feeling. It is mine. That's feeling it. Feeling myself in that job. Feeling myself in that relationship. Once you feel it, so this is the thing, because repetition takes the bump off the excitement. So, I feel it every day, and there's a way to feel it every day. I'm going to go over that in Truthenomics. I feel it and then when it happens, it's just another day. Do you understand that? Then when it happens, it's just another day. Crazy shit. Yeah. So, and there is a system for doing this. There's a system for doing it. And it's not a 1 minute read. And, you know, it's going to take a day or three to really get the system of what I'm talking about. But once you have it, then the world is yours. And if you can't feel what it feels like to own the thing that you're trying to create, it ain't for you, or you ain't merged. One of the two. One of the two. You got to hear me clear. It ain't for you, or you ain't merged. So once you merge, once you're really merged, and merged means that you've invited your soul back into your being, you know, because the split is past, right? Once you're merged, the next thing is that you have to really sit down and say, okay, what does my merged self want? Because sometimes we can be tricked by the ego into what we used to want. So you know, big cigars, fancy cars, diamond rings, all them things might not be the thing now. They might be a byproduct of the thing. So what does that even mean? So the focus might be from getting shit to healing people, getting so good at healing people that the byproduct of that is you get these nice things. Yeah. So you got a couple different things working, right? When you're merged and you pick the right thing and you feel like you already have it. So if I feel like that I'm wearing a particular thing, then I act like I have it. If I feel like I'm wearing a particular thing, I act like I'm wearing it. So if I feel like that I own a Rolls Royce, right? And I remember the first Rolls Royce I bought. I got that feeling down. If I feel like I own a Rolls Royce, and I don't own one now because I don't really believe in that right now, but if I feel like I own a Rolls Royce and I can really feel it, then I walk like I own a Rolls Royce. I act like I own a Rolls Royce. And then when I get it, it's old hat. It's old hat. So what's crazy is that in life there are very few surprises. Because what you're pulling in, you already feel like it is this way. This is why very few people have I love your Bugatti, dude. Very few people have a lot of surprises, right? Winning the lottery can be a surprise. And that's a whole nother story I want to talk about at one time. That's why 70% of lottery winners after 4 years are broke again, because there's a whole reasoning behind it. So really, lining up with the thing that we want, lining up with the thing that I want, don't let that confuse you. Knowing you have the thing that you want. Not knowing's part, but feeling. So this is where this spiritual mind treatments every day come into play. And I'm going to talk about them in detail on June 23rd. If you haven't booked this yet, shit, you got to get here for this. I usually sit here and talk about my friends, like Graham Hancock and Panache Desai, and come see these people, and da-da-da-da-da-da. But today I'm talking about this program and you. So the Truthenomics week is June 23rd. Starts on June 23rd. The numbers 866-936-9446. Make sure you get here for it, because it will change things. It will change things. And I get into the detail of how this works. And this isn't like some mystery. This is just fucking science. This is just the science of vibrational shit. This is not some crazy ass superstition bullshit. This is shit that fucking it's as hard and as dense as this table. It's as real as this broadcast that we're talking about with each other today. It is real shit, and it absolutely, whether you believe it works or not, it works. So whether you're creating bad shit or creating good shit, it still works. So by all means, let's get on the good side, not the good and bad. Let's get on the side of the things that we want. Let's get on the side of the things that we want. And if we get on the side of the things that we want, then these things just come. They just come. And they can come against all odds. And when I mean all odds, I can tell you a little story. As a high school dropout who went to jail, the chance of me becoming a millionaire, really fucking slim. Chance of me becoming a millionaire, right? So I did. I became multi-millionaire. Then lost all my money. Wow. And the chance of me doing it again, super slim, because the first time had to be a fluke. But it wasn't. So I made more money in the next time. Then my whole life fell apart. The chance of me owning what turns out to be one of the best spiritual centers in the world, slim and none. I wasn't that. It's here, and it happens. And every week these miracles happen. So don't tell me the shit doesn't work, because I know for a fact it does. And I know how easy it is to change. It's recognition. R-A-C-O-G-nition. It's to recognize these things and to recognize these things and to change them. Simple stuff. Simple stuff. And yet, the deepest stuff in the deepest stuff in the world. It's simple and deep. Is it doable? In a week, you can turn around and turn the whole fucking thing around. The thing turns around the moment that you know that you have the thing. And the moment you feel, that's when the celebration is. See, the celebration wasn't the day I got the Corvette, the physical Corvette. The celebration was the day that I knew I had the Corvette. Do you understand? So that becomes anticlimactic. Now, if you talk to wealthy people, they will always speak about their capital events in an anticlimactic form. Anticlimactic. What do I mean by that? They say, well, I started the company when I was 20, and I sold the company at 30 for $90 million. But when I sold it, it was kind of a non-event, because they knew they sold it the whole time. The event happened probably in year 5 when the guy said, I'm going to sell this thing for $100 million. Now all of a sudden, that big emotional boost happened then. And then the rest is just detail. The rest is just detail. The day that I remember the day that I walked into my first, let's say, McMansion or whatever the fuck, yeah? And I thought to myself, I own this house. And I got all giddy. And for the next, let's say, 2 years, I thought about owning that house. And I would get giddy because I owned it already. And about 2.5 years later, I bought it. Yeah. And that's just how this stuff works. If you're doing it some other way, you're doing it wrong. Catch me in this. If you're doing it some other way, you're doing it wrong. Because if you're doing it some other way, it's always not happening. If you do it this way, it just fucking happens. So I want it to happen for you. Like, I want it to happen for you. Why? Because there's nothing as fun as seeing it happen for someone else. Nothing in the world is as fun. When people get it and they go, fuck, I get it. Ah, shit, God bless you. Yeah, God bless you. And all these other things still apply. You still got to work and you still got to do this thing. But that doesn't even matter because the work happens once you know you have it. That's it. It's crazy stuff. So please do me a favor. Do me a favor. Do me a favor and share this. Do me a favor. Come June 23rd and take a friend. Take a friend. I'm going to be amped up for this one. I only get a chance to do this. Well, I never get a chance to talk about my book. And I only get a chance to do this once a year, to do this thing. I get to do a workshop a week, but they're my normal workshop. This is something that I love, and it gets me super excited to do. So please get here, see this, be with me, be a part of Rythmia. It's such a cool week because you get both things. You not only get the remerger, but you get the roadmap for what to do next. It's a killer week. So please come here, and I can't contain my enthusiasm because I'm happy about this shit. I'm living my dream and getting to do this for people. What the fuck? I never would imagine this would happen, And do the breath work too. You do it all in this week. So please do me a favor and share this. Hi Zinlin. Hi Eshin. I'm going to answer all the questions later. So Eshin had a question about before. He said, is the split psychological theory or scientific theory? And I really don't know. I was shown it on plant medicine. And then Bruce Lipton from the Rabbit Hole movies, super cool guy, told me that, yeah, it's absolutely right. So that's my backup in that. And all the thought leaders have seen my thing and they all agree with it. Not they all agree with it. 99% agree with it, and they all like it. And it's entertaining as shit to watch this little thing that we do here. So please, come here. Don't waste more time. You're 40 years old. You have $40 in the bank. Congratulations. You managed to save $1 for every year you've been alive. That's not how this can be. It can be a whole different way. All it takes for you to do is to step into something new. And the thing is, once people see it, nobody ever sees it and goes, well, that's fucking crazy. They see it and go, it's that easy. And it is that easy. It's easy. So please, come here. Book your trip today. 1-866-936-9446. Get here. Get here and be the thing that you want. And it'll just happen. It happens. God bless you. God keep you. God hold you. Hi, Leslie. And I want to say this. Next week, John Jacob, I didn't say Jingleheimer Schmidt, is going to be doing my Tuesday. And he always has the most insightful shit. And I'll be back the week after. But please catch him next week. And by all means, be here on June 23rd so I can get to meet you. Where is here? Here is Guanacaste, Costa Rica. About an hour and 10 minutes away from Liberia, Costa Rica. And it's heaven on earth. You gotta come and you gotta see this place. All right, God bless you guys. May you have beautiful peace this week.